Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you one of my favorite ways to work with clay, which is wrapping a slab around a cardboard tube. To start this process, make a slab. You can do it any way, slab roller, rolling pin. In this case, I'm starting by throwing the slab and then finishing it with a rolling pin. I'm going the thickness of a yardstick or around 1/4 of an inch thick. You can vary it. You can go thinner, thicker. To make the cup that I'm showing in this video, I'm going to first cut a line and then measure 3 points that are 6 inches away to make a 6-inch deep mug. Got my points there, make my second cut. Then I'm going to use the cardboard tube as a template to get the circular base for the mug. You want to cut that larger than the tube so that you have enough room to join your walls. A little bit of scoring here to get that ready for the next step. And then I'm going to show you how you want to prep your cardboard tube, which is wrapping it with a single sheet of newspaper. Don't use too much newspaper, don't wrap it around a bunch of times. Just a single sheet, maybe a couple inches extra, and then tape it on there with 2 or 3 pieces of tape. You definitely do not want to tape the paper to the tube because we're going to slide the tube out at the end and then remove the paper. And notice here that the paper is overhanging the edge of the tube. That's very important so that the paper doesn't get into the base of the piece, and you want the slab to overhang the paper as well. So your bottom centimeter or so is not supported, but you can see when you wrap it around, you can cut off the extra, and that slab is still supported. You'll still have all of that tube to press against and join your handle and anything else that you need to do. It's a great way to support the piece as you're building. Here I'm doing scoring and then slip. I'm going to lightly press it together. Don't press too hard or you'll expand your cylinder of clay. Lightly join it, score the bottom, and you're ready for the next step. Here I'm using a banding wheel. You can do it you could rotate a piece of paper as well. Placing my already prepared base there, scored it, it was ready. So I'm going to add a little bit of slip and then join the walls to the base. Press the clay down, don't press the tube, the cardboard tube, or else you'll kind of cut through the bottom like a cookie cutter. Then you can remove the excess sort of tail of clay there and clean up that outside seam with a soft rib. Then put a wooden knife underneath the clay and press upwards to really join that base to the walls of your tube. You could choose to leave the base wider like that. That would be a design decision. In this case, I'm removing the excess clay, and then I'm going to clean it up again with a wooden knife. Final step, I'm going to smooth it with a soft rib. Just make sure everything is how I want it to be. Piece is nice and smooth. And then set that aside. And the next step will be to make the handle. I love making handles like this. You can go ahead and roll out a bunch of coils. To make a coil, you really need to have room to move. So use your whole hand, base of your palm to your fingertip, and move your forearms back and forth, and that's going to give you a nice even coil. For this handle, I'm making 4 relatively narrow coils, as you can see here in this kind of sped up version. Then I'm going to make them all about the same length, just tear off the excess, and then you can stack them up 2 and 2. You could also do this with 3. I don't think it would really, 5 or more doesn't help you, so 3 or 4 coils. Pinch the edges together and then roll it. One hand goes forward, one goes back, and you create this really great coiled pattern. Pinch off the edges, and then I'm going to do what I call a drop and pull. So you're going to just use the weight of the clay to let it fall and move slightly backwards towards your body, and that will join those coils together, create a flat surface for the inside of your handle. You could choose to do the flip it and do both sides, but in this case I want that pattern on the outside of the kind of coiled, the curving coiled texture. I'm going to do just a simple little one finger handle for this mug, and I'm curving the clay and cutting it off so it'll be ready to join. And there it is. Next, bring your cup back. The cardboard tube should still be inside, and then you're going to score the wall and score your handle and add slip and join it. In this case, the cardboard tube really gives you, an advantage. Acts as something you can just press against and really join just about anything, a handle or decoration. This is a very flexible technique that you can take and make your own. So there's my handle, and take out the tube, take out the paper, and you're good to go. You can clean up the seam on the inside. You could choose to add a coil at the base if you want to really make sure that the slabs are joined together and smooth out the top. I'm going to press the bottom lightly to round it off and clean up the base. And then it's not shown on this video, but later when the piece is leather hard, I do kind of a further smoothing and clean up just to make sure that everything is how I want it to be. But that's your quick and simple slab over a tube technique. And here I'm showing how you glaze it, pouring glaze on the inside. But I do just want to say that this technique, you could make a tube, you could make a vase, you could make this short, tall, wide, any sort of tube that you can find, you can use this technique. Make sure to use the newspaper. I've had many students who forget to use the newspaper and the clay might stick to the tube. But that's about it. You can see I'm pouring the glaze on here. Honestly, I was running low on the white glaze I wanted to use. It'd be easier to dip this, but I ran out, so I'm pouring it in this case. Gonna paint on a little bit of extra clay where my finger marks are, and then use a sponge to clean up the bottom, and the piece is ready for firing. But once again, you can make cups, you can make bigger things, you can make vases. It can be really difficult to learn how to throw something that's 6 or 8 inches tall. But this technique with the slab, I think anyone could make a 6 or 8 inch tall tube wrapped around, or a cylinder wrapped around a cardboard tube. And so it's just an awesome thing for beginners, for advanced. Here you can see the final piece after the glaze firing. If you have any comments or questions, let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Check out my other videos, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time. Thanks.